Hi, welcome to my new YouTube channel. On this video I'll be installing the Traxxas TRX4M with the Injora steel drive shafts or axle prop shafts, if you like. The original ones have a small problem where the O-ring will move and the pin will drop out, causing you to lose drive to the front or rear, depending on which pin you lose. So it's one of the first upgrades I'm doing on this TRX4M. As you can see, nothing else has been modified yet, apart from I have moved the ESC and rear shock mounts forward slightly, just one hole, to give a slight different angle on the rear shocks. So we first off remove the battery tray and then start undoing the gear box mounts into the skid pan. What I've done already is I've removed one or two screws because one of them was rounded from the factory, so that was a bit of a pain there. I had to mess around quite a while to get that one out, so I started filming from the second or third screw. And you see the motor just popping out now with the transmission as well, and the drive shafts separate, leaving the half mounted to the transmission in place. Now I'll just pop them off because I've already removed the screws from underneath. When you put the Injora ones in, you need to pay attention to which ends are which, because they do have different ends. One is a D-shaped end, one is a traditional slotted end, so you need to get them the right way around, and also line up your universal joints on your axles, prop shafts, so that they are in the same position at the axle end as they are at the transmission end, to save any phasing, binding up your drive to your axles. It's quite a straightforward swap on this one. I found the easiest way to do this was to remove the transmission and then flip the TRX4M over onto its top and take the drive shafts off the axles afterwards. As you can see there, that's the Injora set just being opened up. Mind your fingers. And really should get a cut in that to save the desk. There's the steel axles. A bit of a tight squeeze, I didn't make a big enough slot. Yeah, they come with screws, and everything I seem to have bought from Injora seems to come with a spare screw, at least one of each. So that's good, especially if you're working on carpet and you drop something and it disappears. There we go, it's quite a nice bit of machining on those, they look pretty good. And no stickers in the axle pack, but there's stickers with the wheels and tyres that I purchased at the same time. It's a good little set. They definitely seem to have the extra length that I was looking for as well. They're longer than the stock Traxxas, so they do articulate a little better. The ends, as I say, you've got one D-shaped and one letterbox end, so do pay attention when you're putting them together. I'm pretty sure the D-shaped end goes on the transmission and the letterbox or slotted end goes on the axles. So a really positive fit, didn't need any spacers or any washers. It fitted perfectly up against the transmission and the screw hole lined up straight away, no messing about there. So that was really nice that they fitted pretty well, because I've seen on some of the earlier models people have had to use a washer or a spacer just behind that mount joint, just to keep it from having any slop. Really good quality stainless screws as well included. They went in no trouble at all. I may pop them out and put a little bit of blue Loctite on them when I've got time, but this is just for the purpose of getting them mounted and tested, and they've done a great job. So I may speed this video up just so you can see the install and get it done a little bit quicker. So there we have it, the installation of the Injora steel drive links, or prop shafts, whatever you like to call them. Fairly straightforward, just popping the motor in there. It's the reverse of taking it out. And we're on to the beadlock wheels. These are the W1005s. You need a 1.27mm Allen for the tiny screws that go all the way around the circumference at the front of the wheel, and a 1.5 for the beadlocks that are going in on the back there, which hold, as you can see, they're quite tricky. These are the W1005 Injora brass beadlocks. They weigh 47 grams without the tyre, 60 grams with the tyre. The tyres are the Trekker or King Trekkers 58x22s. I didn't want to go too large to start with until I can tune up the suspension a little bit more, maybe with the carbon fibre chassis, or maybe just some shock mounts. You don't want to over tighten these, the heads on these screws. I've had one snap. I don't know whether it's in the video. I can't remember whether I was recording at that point. I'd obviously just over tightened it and the head snapped clean off. So these weigh 60 grams wheel and tyre, so huge improvement of the weight load down, and tyres are super grippy. Everything sticks to them when they're new. I am running the stock foams that came with them, and I'm very impressed so far, very impressed. Right, so this is me installing the front circumference of beadlock screws. Now these are tiny, very fiddly. You'll have to excuse my approach to doing this. I was trained as a mechanic when I was young, so I tend to do everything in a logical order and put screws in opposite each other just to get everything to clamp down at the same sort of torque all the way across the rim or around the rim. Just make sure that you don't have any tight spots or loose spots. It just pulls it together nicely. These are fiddly, but I tell you, it was quite good fun actually, just winding these in. I thought I was gonna dread doing it, but I actually quite enjoyed it. Great wheels, great quality, and just super fun to build. So here we have the three pieces. You've got the center brass ring, which is the machinings, and the logo looks absolutely stunning. It's a shame nobody's ever going to see it tucked away inside the wheel. it's class. Vented on that inner ring. We have the outer ring there with, as you can see, the tiny screws hold those two pieces together. They are 4-piece, not 3-piece. As I stated earlier, I did get that wrong. And then there's me putting them together again. I think that's enough of watching me put in tiny screws. Right, so there you can see the standard tyre at 17 grams. And then the vehicle weight with the new tyres without the battery is quite significant, 689. So with the battery, that made 727 grams. Great looking wheels, great looking tyres. Thank you for watching.